There's a certain quiet panic that creeps in when you realize you're behind. It's not loud. It doesn't come all at once. It arrives slowly, like fog rolling into a valley. Subtle at first, then suddenly you're surrounded. Maybe you're 25, maybe you're 35, maybe you're 45. You wake up one day, look at your bank account, and realize something simple but terrifying. You have nothing invested. No assets, no portfolio, no passive income. You're working for every dollar, and every dollar is already spoken for before you even earn it. Rent, food, gas, insurance, life. Now imagine this. It's November 2025. You have $0 invested, no savings to speak of, no employer match waiting to be claimed, no stock portfolio, just a checking account with your name on it and a decision to make. This isn't a hypothetical. This is real life for millions of people. And if that were me, if I was starting completely from scratch in 2025, this is exactly what I'd do. Step by step, no fluff. Because I've studied this, lived through versions of this. And if there's one thing I've learned about building wealth from zero, it's that the hardest part isn't finding the right ETF. It's not even saving the first $1,000. The hardest part is starting it all. Let's start at the very beginning. I'm sitting in my apartment. Rent is $1,450. My paycheck hits every 2 weeks. Just enough to cover my essentials, maybe with a few hundred left over if I'm careful. No help from parents, no windfalls. Just me, trying to figure out how to not work for every dollar forever. So before I even think about investing, I need to do one thing: get a handle on my cash flow. I start by tracking every expense. And I mean everything. Not just rent and groceries, but the little stuff. The $4 coffee, the $12 Netflix subscription, the spontaneous Amazon orders. I go through my bank statements line by line, because I need to see where my money is actually going, not where I think it's going. After a month of brutally honest tracking, I find out something painful. I'm spending $400 a month on stuff that adds zero long-term value. Fast food, streaming, random upgrades I don't need. That's my margin. That's where I start. So now I've freed up $400. That's not much, but it's enough to begin. But even before I touch the market, before I think about stocks or ETFs, I build my safety net. Because investing with no emergency fund is like skydiving without a parachute. Sure, the views are great until something goes wrong. And something will go wrong eventually. So here's my goal: save 3 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. If my monthly expenses are $2,500, that means I need $7,500 saved. It sounds like a lot. Because it is. But I treat it like survival. I don't see it as optional. And I definitely don't touch the stock market until I hit it. This emergency fund isn't for fun. It's not for investing. It's for keeping me from panic selling the moment my car breaks down or I lose my job. So I open a savings account, somewhere like Marcus, Ally, or Wealthfront, all offering around 4.5% APY right now. That means my cash won't lose too much to inflation while it sits. Now, I grind. I save $1,000 a month if I can. Maybe more, maybe less. But I keep saving until I hit that $7,500 mark. If it takes 6 months, so be it. I know this phase is temporary but necessary. And when I hit it, when that account finally reads $7,500, something inside me shifts. I feel calmer, clearer, more ready. Because for the first time in a long time, I'm not in survival mode. I'm not praying my paycheck clears before the rent is due. I'm not hoping the tires on my car don't go flat, or that I don't get sick, or that the fridge doesn't die. I have margin. I have room to breathe. This account isn't exciting. It doesn't jump 10% in a day. It doesn't go viral. But it gives me something better. The freedom to not panic. The space to make long-term decisions without fear dictating every move. And that's rare. Most people never get here. Not because they can't, but because they underestimate how powerful peace of mind actually is. I used to think investing was about growing wealth. Now I realize it's just as much about reducing anxiety. Money you don't need today gives you confidence about tomorrow. And that confidence, it's compounding too. It affects how you show up at work, how you sleep at night, How you respond to setbacks. It's not just a number in an account. It's the mental bandwidth to think beyond next week. And once you've tasted that feeling, you never want to go back. So I sit with it. I let that first win settle in. It's small in the grand scheme, just $7,500. But it's more than I've ever saved, and it changes everything. Now, I invest, but not randomly. I start with the most powerful tool available to everyday investors, the Roth IRA. In 2025, the contribution limit is $7,000. That means I can contribute up to $7,000 of my earned income each year, and all of it grows tax-free. That's not a glitch. That's the rule. You pay taxes now, never again. And that's huge, because future me, the one who's 55 or 65, will thank me for every dollar I invest today that compounds without ever being taxed again. I open my Roth IRA with Fidelity. It's beginner-friendly, intuitive, and offers fractional shares. Vanguard and Schwab are great too, but Fidelity is the most accessible for someone just getting started. Now comes the moment of truth. My first investment. I put my first $1,000 into VOO, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. Why? Because it gives me immediate exposure to 500 of the best, most profitable companies in the United States. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, JP Morgan, Procter & Gamble. They're all in there. I'm not trying to beat the market. I'm trying to own the market. VOO trades around $450, but because Fidelity offers fractional shares, I can buy exactly $1,000 worth. No need to buy full shares. That first investment feels different. It's not just numbers on a screen, it's a signal to myself, a shift in identity. I'm no longer just a consumer of the economy. I'm now a partial owner. When Apple sells another iPhone, I get a sliver of the benefit. When Microsoft signs another enterprise contract, a piece of that value trickles to me. I've crossed a line, from outsider to participant. It doesn't matter that it's only $1,000. What matters is that it's real. It's invested. It's working, even when I'm not. This money has left the world of static savings accounts and entered a dynamic ecosystem that grows while I sleep. And that's powerful. For years, I thought investing was something rich people did. Something complicated, intimidating. Now I realize it's just action. One transfer, one decision. One click that rewires how I see the future. And VOO is the perfect place to start. It's not flashy. It's not speculative. It's not some hot tech stock that might triple or crash. It's a quiet machine, designed to mirror the backbone of the American economy. It doesn't need to hit home runs. It just needs to keep showing up. Over time, it wins through consistency, just like I plan to. I used to scroll past stock charts like they were some foreign language. Now I watch VOO move and understand that every dip is a sale, every gain a signal. I don't panic, I don't chase, I buy and I hold, because that's what ownership looks like. And with that first $1,000, I've taken the most important step. I've begun. That first buy feels electric. It's not about the amount, it's about the act. I've officially stopped being a spectator and become an owner. Now I automate everything. I set up a recurring $500 transfer from my checking to my Roth IRA every month. I tell it to auto-buy VOO with every deposit. I don't touch it. I don't tinker. I just let it run. 3 months in, I've contributed $2,500 and I start to see some gains. Maybe it's only $100, maybe less. Doesn't matter. I've planted the seed. After 3 months of investing solely in VOO, I start to diversify. Now my monthly $500 contribution is split 3 ways. $300 still goes to VOO. That's my core. $150 goes into SCHD, a dividend-focused ETF with a strong yield, historically over 3%. $50 goes into a single, boring, blue-chip stock, something like Coca-Cola. Why? Because I want to start learning how individual companies behave. At this point, I don't chase trends. I don't try to outsmart the market. I'm building muscle memory, the habit of investing consistently, automatically, without emotion. 12 months in, I've invested $6,000. My account might show $6,400, maybe $6,600. That's not life-changing money yet. But it's proof of concept. It's working. Now it's year 2. I've gotten more confident, I've read a few books, watched a few too many investing videos, maybe started following earnings reports, and I decide to level up. My monthly contributions jumped to $750. Now I'm spreading that across more assets, still heavy in VOO and SCHD, but now I add Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, maybe even JEPI, a higher yield ETF that gives me consistent income. By the end of year 2, I've contributed around $15,000. My portfolio might be worth $16,500, not because I got lucky, but because I stayed consistent. The dividends are starting to grow too. $400, maybe $500 a year. That's enough to pay for groceries one month, or a car insurance payment. And the best part? I didn't have to lift a finger. The dividends showed up quietly, automatically, like a paycheck I didn't earn, but definitely deserved. Years 3 to 5 are where everything changes. I'm now contributing $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year. I've simplified my life to make it work. I drive the same car. I live below my means. I keep my expenses flat even when my income goes up. By year 5, I've contributed $35,000 to $40,000. But my account shows $50,000, maybe more. The market did its thing. My dividends are over $1,200 a year now. Every quarter, new shares appear in my account, bought with the dividends I didn't even touch. This is the beginning of the snowball, and once the snowball starts, it doesn't stop. Now I see the magic of long-term investing. Now I understand why wealthy people get wealthier, not because they work harder, but because their money never stops working. By year 7, I'm pushing $75,000 invested, maybe $80,000. The dividends alone are generating $2,000 to $2,500 a year. That's like working a part-time job I don't have to show up for. By year 10, it's 2035 now. I've crossed $100,000 invested. But my portfolio value? $120,000. Maybe $130,000 depending on how the market's been. My dividends are closing in on $4,000 a year. That's $333 a month showing up without me doing anything. That pays for groceries. It pays for a car payment. It pays for peace of mind. And here's the thing nobody tells you. This part is the easy part. Because once the snowball gets big enough, it rolls downhill on its own. You don't have to push anymore. Just keep showing up. Now imagine this. I keep going. I stay the course for 20 years. I don't try to time the market. I don't panic sell during crashes. I just keep buying. Every single month. By 2045, I'm sitting on a portfolio worth $400,000 to $500,000. Maybe more. My dividends alone are paying me $15,000 to $20,000 a year. That's $1,500 a month, just for showing up consistently and letting time do the heavy lifting. That's what I'd do if I started investing in 2025 with $0. No shortcuts, no crypto moonshots, no options trading, just discipline, automation, and compound interest. The truth is, most people never get here. Not because they're not smart enough, but because they don't start. Or they start, then stop. Or they chase excitement instead of building wealth. So if you're listening to this and you haven't started, don't wait. The perfect time to invest isn't when the market is calm. It's not when the Fed cuts rates. It's not when you get a raise. The perfect time is when you decide to start. Even if it's just $50. Even if it's just one share of VOO. Start today. Start small. Start broken if you have to. Because 10 years from now, the only difference between you and someone with a 6-figure portfolio is whether you showed up consistently or not. The market doesn't care about your excuses, only your participation. Let that sink in and get started. Like, share and help someone else take the first step too.